Hello, Sutta sir.
Hello.
Would you like to give
Hello.
us an intro about yourself? Tell them about your community fighting. I'm sure a lot of people really love Python.
Yeah, maybe we will talk about it after the session is over, okay? And I just got a meeting at 6. I'll
Oh,
join back, once that is over, and then we can interact, yeah? Aram sir.
Yeah,
okay,
sure, sure.
that's sure. Okay, no problem.
So how long are you guys going to be hanging out?
I believe
This session
2 hours.
will,
2
yeah.
hours. That's good enough time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm an old timer OSM guy, so I know about. We can talk about our
Oh,
experiences from
That
back.
would be great if you could share your experiences as well.
Yeah, yeah, sure, we'll do that. Thank you. Huh? Bye bye.
Thank you for joining.
okay, so we'll begin in a minute. A lot of people are still joining.
Okay, great. Yeah, Nilabrata with us. Hello, Nilabrata. Let's just wait for everyone to join and then we will start. Okay, we have Sirf Haru as well. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, Akbar. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine right now. By the way, I'm audible.
Ah, yeah, you are.
Okay, okay. Hey everyone. So I am Akbar. I'm from college, University of Delhi, and to the whole thing. And yeah, I do it when I'm free. So yeah, I'm just a mapper.
Oh, by the way, Akbar was with us yesterday. We had an event yesterday as well. So we are having a OSM week this entire week. We started yesterday. Today is the second day. Uh, we had it offline in our campus, the technical campus. Akbar gave a really good session about mapping and using idea editor. So the session
How
was
many of
really
you were there
quite
yesterday?
spectacular. Yeah.
By the way, Nilabrata, would you like to give an introduction?
Certainly, I would more than love to, though I'm like traveling right now, so I'm not too sure my network is full enough.
No,
Yeah,
it's
Though, good
fine.
evening, folks. I'm Nilabrata, NBRT. I handle a lot of things. OSM is my most favorite one. started mapping, rather contributing on OSM since 2023. It's been more than 3 years. And yeah, I just really love OpenStreetMap. Like to me, it's a project that's really close to my heart. I've been mapping mostly in and around my hometown of Jalpaiguri and the entire region of North Bengal. Uh, it's just like, how do I put this? I don't think there's any straightforward way to say how my OpenStreetMap journey has been so far, but um, one word: amazing. It's been great. It just feels good to contribute to something which helps a lot of people all around the world for various use cases. Be it your door-to-door delivery or say for humanitarian purposes. OSM has been, OSM is just one of those tools that help get the job done. And yeah, I think that is pretty much it. I assume Kiran would also be joining in very soon. She will be the one who's going to be, just help you understand OSM
Yeah, she
better
will lead the
and
session.
and how to
Yeah,
contribute to it.
she'll be joining us very soon. Can I
Yeah.
ask you one question? Like, how did you got into this community, like OpenStreetMap?
Well, that's actually a pretty interesting question because I came to OpenStreetMap from, well, Blender. I used to I used to do 3D modeling on the side. And there was this plugin on Blender called Blender GIS, which used to let you like import satellite imagery as well as um, like terrain data. And then and then while I was like exploring through the plugin, I noticed that there's this thing, the ability to import buildings and roads using OpenStreetMap. And that's when I got curious. I checked it out. To me, initially, I didn't like know what exactly OSM was, like how exactly did it differ from other products. And I was like, oh, cool, it's just a map. But then I noticed a green edit button on the top left, and I just hit click. Saw this particular stretch of road in my neighborhood that required some changes in the geometry. I just did that, click save, and yeah, and then that's when I discovered that first of all the changes were uploaded almost instantly, which got me super curious. And then I digged around a bit more. One thing led to another, and I just sort of started contributing to OSM. It's like right now it's become a very important part of my life. It's a habit that I just can't rid of easily. Like every single day, I have to check OSM at least once and add something to it. It's
Okay,
always like even when I'm
I
on the go. Yeah, sure.
I got this thing from Akbar. Like, so how do you map more with like your laptop or your phone? Like, you walk and you map, or just like you sit there at a place and then you map.
It
Like,
really
which
depends
way you
on a
like?
lot of factors.
Which way you like the most?
Yeah. Uh, there's no solid answer because, well, I just prefer it both ways. Whenever I'm on the go, I just use editors which are there available on Android. I just use that. And then on desktop, I usually use JOSM, which is this very nice and like very powerful editor for OSM, though it does have a steep learning curve. But if I had to pick
Even I use
between,
JAWS.
but if
Yeah,
I had
JOSM
to
was
pick
very
between
difficult.
what, yeah, it's difficult, but it's amazing. Like you can work even offline. You can just download the data, work for hours, for hours in one go. Though if I
I
had to,
think the whole plugin ecosystem is very great with JAWS.
yeah, also that like the amount of plugins is just insane. You pretty much have a plugin for everything. And even if there's not, well, it is FOSS, so you can just write write some code yourself and create a plugin. It's really nice.
To be honest, that is what
Yeah,
motivates
that's the
me a
beauty
lot
of
promoting to OSM. Everything is open to, and you have like your control over the data, and you can put the right data into it. Basically, make a
Exactly.
community grow.
Exactly. Well, OSM data is owned by, well, all of us. Even if you don't contribute to it, you technically own OSM data,
Yeah.
which is something I really like. Let's I don't want to name drop, but let's say suppose Google with their Google Maps, they say that hey, we are shutting down Google Maps tomorrow. There's no guarantee that what they are going to do with the data. right?
Yeah,
Like they can just take it down and that's it. That's pretty much the end of it. You don't get to like keep a copy of it at all. But with OSM data, say if the OSM website ever goes down, you can always just have the data and then just host it yourself, or someone else definitely would also host the data. I mean, even as we speak, there are several mirrors of like the entire planet file of OSM, um, in like various places all over the world.
that's really great. So,
Yeah.
uh, you're from Siliguri, right? So, have you? What were your experiences like mapping Siliguri? Because I saw my local city, Sangamwar, and it was not mapped at all. It was really empty. So I just mapped my school, mapped the temple, mapped the park. So yeah, it was great. So how was it with you? Like you saw Siliguri and okay, it's empty.
Right. Well, just a quick correction. First of all, I'm from and I live in Jalpaiguri, which is a city to the south of Siliguri. Though I do go to Siliguri because that's where my college is, and we have a FOSS club there as well.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, my experience so far, it's been yeah, I just do it. Though Siliguri has a rather limited coverage. It's just mostly along routes where only I have been to at least once or twice. So there's like no guarantee the coverage of stuff in Siliguri is like that good. But along like the main stretches of road and like some of the busiest places, I think we have roughly about 40 to 50% POIs covered so far.
Oh, that's
And
really
then
great.
and then as for Jalpaiguri, with the recent mapping parties back in 2025, we have managed to cover at least 70 to 80% of all POIs in the city. I mean, thankfully, it's a very small city, so we don't have to, um, put in that much effort. But I mean, if we keep going at the pace which we have been, I think by the end of this year, we can easily complete POI data, at least for all the shops and offices and similar features.
That's really great to
Yeah,
learn. Thanks for sharing.
yeah, no worries.
You also lead an open mapping community in your college, right? So can you tell us about it?
Come again?
You also lead a open mapping community in your college, right? So how
Ah,
was
yes,
it
yes, yes,
leading it?
yes, yes. So I do, in fact, run a youth mappers chapter in my college in conjunction with the FOSS club. And the journey has been so far has been it's been quite decent, to be honest. One of the bigger problems is that there's not really as many people in tech. So with OSM, the good thing is that you don't really need to be a techie to map. For instance, Contrapunctus, who I assume would be joining today later on, is a bachelor in design, and yeah, he's one of the quite epic mappers we have in the Indian community. And then likewise, there's like so many folks from geography, naturally, who are also active on OSM. But yeah, my point being, just because we don't have enough people doesn't mean that we are not doing it. So far, we have managed to build a community of around 15 to 20 people locally, and more than 50 people all over West Bengal. And I'm just looking forward to keep this thing growing. Later this year, we are planning to work with like government and some other institutions to like further promote OpenStreetMap and teach people how to further map, including several NGOs.
One of the problem that I might think we will face it, like in Delhi, or maybe say in our college, OSM is not that very popular. There are developers, they just know, okay, this is OSM and we have an API, we can integrate it in our software. They just know that much, and they don't really know much about mapping. And telling them this ideology of like, okay, you can map something and make a community grow. So how did you tackle that at your college? Like there are people, they'll say, okay, we have Google Maps. Why should we use OSM or something else?
Well, I think I would say it's been mostly luck, though it's not really just luck. We have to take a very nuanced approach to how we say like how we preach OSM, right? For instance, one of the great things about OSM is that OSM follows an on-the-ground principle, de jour principle. Essentially, if there's something that's on the ground, you can most definitely map it. And that's something which we use, as well as the fact that like there's no bias per se. Like there's like pr- in theory there's like zero room for bias when it comes to adding features on OSM. Because say when you have a commercial map, again like Google Maps or even Apple Maps, any commercial map in general, of course they're going to follow, like wherever the money is, that is in big cities or wherever there's more people in general. So naturally, as a result, you see a lot of these smaller towns and villages, and just remote places in general, around forests, around the hills, which are left out in terms of in terms of data. Maybe you have the data for trunk highways. Maybe you have the data for major district roads, but you don't have really anything beyond that. And that's our approach to things. We say that, hey, look at all these commercial maps. Do they ever show your exact street or your building, your local store, or that one tree that people use as a landmark? And to which, of course, the answer is no. And then we just say it that, hey, these people don't care. To them, if you have the money, is my voice clear? I think I might have gotten cut off
Yeah,
in
it's
between.
clear now. I mean, it got
Okay,
off for a few seconds, but it's clear now.
so back to what I was saying. And then we explain it to them that, hey, look, these people only care that wherever money is, they just put them out where the money is. So, and we also just mentioned that, hey, just because the data is missing, it's not that people don't live there, right? Like, just because the data is missing for your town doesn't mean that you don't live there. And which and that's how we have managed to get people to sort of um, um, contribute to OSM. Another
Your
thing
voice is a
I
little
guess at
off.
a government level or rather at institution level would be to just sort
Uh,
of promote the fact that, hey,
Nilabrata, your
once you
voice
add
is
the data on
off.
OSM, it's there and you can. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
audible now. It was a little off for a few seconds.
Right. Yeah. So that was like that. That's how we approach to individuals, like in colleges, and then at an institution level, we are like, hey, look at this. Once you have the data mapped, it's just out there, and then you can host the data yourself. You don't have to worry about like any sort of vendors and like their own proprietary systems or their own apps and workflows. And yeah, that's just how we approach. Though we are still in talks with a lot of these institutions. So once we do see some success with them, I think I will definitely share the updated plan, like how things, how you too can, make people aware about OSM in general.
So this thing is surely gonna take time.
Oh yeah, certainly. I mean, for a country like as big as India, I mean, it's a shame that we only have a couple of thousand of recurring mappers a month. So
Yeah, I get you.
certainly, yeah, it's definitely going to take a long time to just to get to even a point where we see just the basic buildings and just even the store data itself being mapped. And then there's levels to this mapping. You don't need to rely on you can add the
Uh,
basic stuff like the name, the contact details, the opening hours for that particular feature. In this case, a shop, say a shop, and then even more detailed stuff like say which floor is it in, does it have toilets, what sort of payment methods do they accept, and this just goes on and on. Again, which is another reason why I love OSM. You don't need to rely on. You can just add that stuff on OSM and boom, it's there.
okay, that's really great, Nilabrata. Thanks for sharing such valuable information.
Absolutely, and like thanks to you folks for having me on such a short period. of time. Like again, I'm returning from after attending many DevCons. So it's
Yeah,
like quite challenging, but yeah, thanks a lot again.
no worries.
Definitely love to have everyone.
Sure.
Okay. So, anyone else would like to share their experiences? Okay, I guess not. So, we have. I hope it is known that we are dedicating 16 to 22nd March as our OSM week. We kickstarted our OSM week yesterday. We had Akbar. He gave a really great speech. He gave a really comprehensive introduction to OSM. He explained what is it, what OSM data looks like, where is it used, and the different ways to contribute to it. And then lastly, also gave a short demo using ID Editor and showed how to map. Today we have Kiran with us from TomTom. She is community manager there. She will lead today's workshop. In today's workshop we will cover how to map and like basically go over MapRoulette challenges. Yeah, and by the way, by the end of the OSM week, like after this workshop, we will run challenges. They'll like challenges will be open till 22nd, and even after that, you will have to complete those challenges. And for like meaningful contributions, we have prizes for them. We have XYZ domains, we have Fast Club official T-shirts, and we have codecrafters.io merchandise. Not actually merchandise, but their courses. Okay, so over to you, Kiran.
All right. Thanks a lot, Tanmay, for this very, very warm uh, evening as well for everyone and inviting TomTom to host or kickstart this mapathon. I'm really, really excited. Something that I have been envisioning since I started working as a community manager, that when would the youth of India, the younger generation of India, start contributing to OpenStreetMap and make it one of the most reliable open source or open map data set for everyone to use, right? So I'm really glad that there were questions why one should use an open source and not any other proprietary maps, right? So there are really, really beautiful answers to that. I would really love you guys to explore rather than me or even Nilabrata. He gave really good answers, but think over why we should switch over an open source and why we should also think of contributing, right? I have always been hearing this from a lot of students in Pune as well, in India as well, that they do use OpenStreetMap, but hey, do you really give a thought on contributing back, right? So that's where we are going to learn today some mapping technique. Let me also introduce you to some of the amazing tools that I love in OpenStreetMap, which is of course ID Editor and MapRoulette. The term roulette also comes with a game, and that's how I see map roulette. It is a game where you can play around map while you're also enjoying, plus you're also fixing the quality issues in the map database. So something really interesting, right? So yes, I started working, a quick introduction, I started working at TomTom last 8 years. I think 2017 was the time I joined as a digital cartographer. I was quite lucky. I did my master's in geology. I learned very few topics of GIS, I would say, in my master's, but luckily I got opportunity because TomTom was having its own source and softwares to work on their projects, right? So it was not relying on ArcGIS or QGIS. So they said that's okay if you don't know or if you have not used Arc or QGIS, we would still be happy to train you on our internal tools, and that's how I got. Okay, and then in last 2.5 years I switched into community and management role in community and partnerships team. So this team works majorly with the communities worldwide. We also have a team dedicated to have partner onboarding, partner projects, like Uber is one of our primary customers. We have Microsoft, and there are several other customers. Information is right there on the website. I would definitely encourage everyone to do have a look on that. Yes, pretty interesting stuff, I would say, that I'm having right now. I have passion for mapping, by the way, and I'm here to also share this passion with everyone. I love maps, and I am also here to teach how you can love maps, how you can make map better, right? So one of the most touching thing that I liked about OpenStreetMap was I have been encountering a lot of quality errors in the maps that I've been using, right? Every one of us might have encountered a lot of errors, issues, quality concerns in the map, and we have max to max we have gone and suggested something to any proprietary map database that, hey, I see this is a wrong turn updated in the map, can you go and fix it, right? So we are limiting our capabilities here with a proprietary map being used, right? So there are a lot of maps used for navigation as well in OpenStreetMap community, right? So this way I would encourage you guys start using this. Plus, let's also work on upgrading the quality or the missing data that we have in India. It's a very, very huge country, but I see a very good number of population today. I see 78 almost people joining this mapping event. Let's also learn more about how we can simplify learning, right? I am, as of now, considering everyone as a newbie here, and I would be doing training with basics. I would really appreciate Nilabrata and other experienced members if you could support me here and there while I'm doing training, right? Some of the points maybe I can miss, but if there are essential points, important notifications, points for you to know, please do add. Feel free to unmute and share your inputs as well, okay? So excited, everyone. I'm keeping it very simple. Let's just work on fixing one quality issue in the map database, which is intersecting buildings, okay? So now there are lots of buildings in India that have been digitized by many people around the world. I would say people outside India have also contributed in our region. But what I've noticed is a lot of buildings are incorrectly mapped. There was a building earlier, but somebody has overlapped and added one more building on top of it. So, which is a quality issue, right? Which leads to a lot of errors in the database. Let's utilize our learning, let's utilize our time in this mapping event or mapathon that we have for the entire week and fix this kind of issues, okay? So currently, I think I have almost 4,000-ish tasks in this particular challenge. It is super fun, super easy. You would definitely love it. But I want Tanma your support in just tracking this particular challenge as we would solve this challenge and we would be left with like 500-ish tasks. Just give me a heads up that, Kiran, we need to refill the challenge, okay? So I can do the refill as well for you, but just give me a heads up at least a day or two in advance that we
Definitely,
need
I'll
a
let you
refill. Okay,
definitely.
perfect. So ready to start, everyone? Give me a heads
Yep.
up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So let me share my screen and let me know if you can see it already. And just confirm if you're able to see MapRoulette, and there's a challenge which is named as India Dash intersecting buildings.
Yes, your screen is visible. Can you please share this link to the chats as well?
Okay, let me quickly copy and share it in the chat here so that everyone, but please wait until we are done with the training, okay? Only
Oh,
then please start contributing. We have to focus on quality. Quality is of utmost importance for everyone here,
sure,
okay?
sure.
Yes. So now if you notice, there's a lot of tasks now remaining in the northern side, northern hemisphere of India, and most of them in the southern have been solved, which is very good. We have solved almost 12,880 tasks here, if you notice the number. And the blue bar indicates the number of challenges and the number of tasks that we have solved. Okay. Task remain is almost 4807. But I encourage everyone to read the goal of this challenge, and there are a lot of instructions present here. Very short and crisp, but please have some time spent on this and do read whatever is mentioned there, okay? But for the demo purpose and just to solve this kind of challenges I'm giving, I'm jumping directly into the training and demoing things how to practically solve them, okay? Now as I clicked on start button, a new window opened, okay? Not yet, but now if you see, there are instructions present on the left hand side, and you should, everyone in this group must read the instructions once before you start, okay? But for the demo purpose, I would spend some time definitely reading these instructions. I want you to notice the entire interface that you see right now on my screen. There's my profile button on the top right, there's MapRoulette logo on the top left, and there are several five buttons here. I fixed it, already fixed. Just keep on noticing things, and also this tiny overlap that you see here, which is highlighted in yellow, in blue color, and as I hover over my mouse onto it, it turns yellow. That's exactly where a building is intersecting or a building is overlapping to another building. Okay, so this particular task we would be solving in this particular. Okay, everyone. So let's start with the instructions very, very quick. Instruction number 1 says, select your preferred editor from the drop down list in the completion box. here is the completion box, here is the drop down list. I encourage everyone to do ID. If you're comfortable using another tools, as I would recommend not to use it as of now. Like if there are experienced mapper and if you know how to use JOSM, Rapid or any other tools, you can definitely go ahead with that. But if you are a newbie and if you want to really learn well, I would definitely suggest to use ID editor. So no need to go into the drop down. Just with the ID button, you can start editing over here. Okay. Instruction number 2 says click on the edit button or the editing mode, which is right here in the same button. Okay. And you will enter into the editing mode. A new window pops up. Also make a note that if a new window doesn't open, then probably your pop-up notifications are blocked. So you just have to click that URL and say always allow, and you will be able to map in ID editor. Okay. Point number 3 says use the most appropriate imagery. Very, very important. Imageries in India are quite blur. Okay. Everyone might feel this is super challenging, but that's how we are going to have. And these are the guidelines that are coming from our government. So not really anybody here can have any uh, control over things to be changed. Okay, so even I cannot change images here and bring HD qualities images here. So that's the challenging part, but we will have to deal with it. Okay, and we'll do our best using whatever we have as a source. Okay, second source, we have ground truth data or street level imageries. People who are using mapillary or they are capturing images, street level images using these tools, they would have uploaded some images here. You can definitely refer to those as well. And your local knowledge, of course, to verify the presence of buildings. Okay. Point number 4 says review the feature and the country specific wiki pages for any nuisance or exceptions you should be aware of. Okay, so I'm going to share the wiki link also, which is no matter it's present here in the instructions as well. Okay. Point number 5, very, very important. Most of the students do miss this out. Zoom in and zoom out. It's important instruction, but you have to do it, okay, to make a better decision. And carefully review the location where the intersecting buildings are suggested, like this particular location. Point number 6 says do the fix considering such possible scenarios. So this has been divided into sub points, which says building outline indicates intersects where they should not. Okay. So in this particular case, also they should not intersect based on what I have been seeing so far in this particular challenge. Okay. Instead, the buildings should be next to each other. Move building footprints accordingly. Also, everyone make this point noted into your diaries and your notepads that always whenever there's a building captured, whether you capture it or whether you correct an existing building, make sure that you always move that 2D polygon to its foot and not onto the roof or terrace. Every time we capture a building, it is always captured at the foot of that building, okay, and not at the terrace. This is thumb rule of mapping. Okay, keep this in mind. Second point says overlapping buildings with a complex structure where the relation, which is type, is equal to building. These are tags, by the way. Okay, building is equal to part or location is equal to underground tags are missing. In this case, these are kind of a cases where there are overlaps which are obvious and according to reality. Okay, so in this cases, we are going to have additional tags added like this suggested in the instructions. Add proper tagging, including building parts related if needed. Okay, we'll see some examples if we encounter if there are overlapping buildings in real world. Okay, duplicated buildings are in the same location. Okay, as I said, there are a lot of buildings overlapping each other with same information, maybe with no tags as well, no information at all to the building. Then in this case, do deduplication buildings by transferring additional tags to the older footprint and removing the redundant buildings is also something we can see. So if there are two buildings and one has very good tags and the other one doesn't have tag, so what a good cartographer does is the one without tags or one without information can be deleted, but a good cartographer always tries to relocate that. So if there's a building present in nearby location which has yet not been digitized, I would then prefer to relocating that. But the condition is the building that you're trying to relocate or remove or shift should not have any address, name, or additional information. If it is just building or if it is just a house, then you can definitely relocate that in a nearby location where the building has not been digitized. Okay, another very good practice is that you can follow. Map elements are incorrectly tagged as buildings. Okay, there are certain polygons that you will see that are tagged as buildings, but they need to be changed. These also cases would be encountered by you all. Okay, check if conflicting check if conflict causing footprints represent buildings. If not, then change the tag to the correct one. If you notice that this is not a building, this is, for example, a park, then please correct that tag as from building to park. Just an example, okay? But this could depend on the situation that you have seen. Now, the main point, which says point number 7. As we are done reviewing, fixing things, review your edits. I would call this as self QC. Okay, very, 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 very important, extremely important. Self QC. This way, you will become a very good mapper and an independent mapper of extreme good skills. Okay, and ensure that the buildings are mapped correctly and comply with OSM guidelines. Hyperlink is given here. Do have a look on this as well. OSM guidelines are very, very, very important. Okay, resolve all edits. So tool is very, very smart. It will give you warnings that has been done by us, or maybe these are lying in the database for years and years. But as you touch that particular edit, maybe it can be a road, maybe it can be a building, or it can be something else. As you touch, it would start triggering all those violations that have been lying there in the database. Okay, but we'll see how we are going to solve that. But if you're facing some challenges, do let me know, or if you could reach out to us via Telegram. I'm available on Telegram to chat. Maybe Tanma, you can collect this kind of queries that that the students might have, and we can have a follow up, or maybe a query result to start mapping. Okay, so compile everything that you have as a doubt, and we can definitely resolve this kind of things. But resolving errors and warnings is very, very important, and everyone has to learn that. It's super simple. The tool guides you how to solve it. Like, it suggests also 4 equal steps. What exactly is the most suitable decision here, and it will accordingly guide you how to solve that. Okay, and it is pretty easy, not at all a rocket science thing. But if you need help, definitely reach out to us. Okay. Point number 9 says provide an informative and concise change comment when you are uploading your edits. Now, because we are solving a challenge here, I have made sure that I have added a default comment, which is I have fixed kind of intersecting buildings. Please do not remove that comment. Please do not edit that comment. Editing is okay if you have done something additional, like if you have fixed overlapping buildings, plus you have also tried doing something else in the nearby area, which I don't recommend. Focus on the task that has been given to you. Now, for example, in this task, if I'm being given this tiny overlap, I will just focus on that overlap. I'll solve it and I'll move to the next task. So I won't focus on nearby buildings. I see there are incorrect buildings. I see there are buildings that have been missing. So I'll keep on adding. If you continue doing that, you will spend entire life of yours in mapping India. Okay, so keep yourself focused on the current location, on the current task that has been given to you. Okay, then let's upload your edits in OpenStreetMap and select iFixed status where you have fixed something in the database. Okay, if for some reason a map edit is not necessary or possible, choose one of the following statuses. In the black button, you can see in the dark bluish color, you can see at the bottom, there are different buttons. Already fixed, it is used when if someone has already fixed the building outside of the challenge. Okay, you can definitely mark this as already fixed. For that, please keep a check on who and when has this building been fixed, or by whom and by when, dates, name, and everything. If you think it has been completed in the same challenge, you can still say it as I fixed it. Okay, because we ourselves have fixed it, maybe yesterday or day before yesterday, or maybe just 15-20 minutes ago by somebody amongst us. Okay, from this mapping event. Next button is can't complete, which says if you're not able to make any edit due to quality, outdated, unavailable image, or conflicting sources, in that case, please choose can't complete. Okay, do not incorrectly solve any case just to mark a task as I fixed it. Okay, it is okay, you can mark this task as can't complete if you don't have good imageries or challenging sources, conflicting sources. Okay, that's still okay. Next option is not an issue. So if you find that the issue wouldn't require any fix, it is very correctly as it is present, and based on your knowledge, the map is correct as it is, in that case, the button is not an issue. Please, please, please try not to use skip option and solve as many as tasks possible. Give a correct status to that amongst all these 5 buttons suggested. At TomTom, we have prioritized quality and usability in in the challenge. We share and value your feedback. Okay, so if you want to have any feedback, you can definitely write to us over this particular email ID. And then now let's start into the demo. Okay, this particular issue that has been highlighted with the same process, edit an ID. Notice a new window opens up here. and it will take me to the exact location. Zoom in to edit, allow it some time. Also after 6:30 in India, everything slows down considering internet. Now if you see, there's a very tiny, I have zoomed in to my 100% scale, and I see there has been a very tiny overlap lying in this database. So these are the errors, these are considered as an error. So just if after touching this particular building shape, it has started giving me error. And the error message is very simple, just 3 words: building is crossing a building, right? So it says 4 options, as I said: tag this as higher, tag this as lower, reposition this feature, and ignore this issue, right? We are not going to ignore, we are neither going to say this as higher or lower, but we are going to reposition this issue. But look at the image, it is super blur. You would struggle identifying which exactly building has been created, okay? So now what my suggestion is, in this particular tab which says background setting, you have images and variety of options available. Please try to explore those and see which is the most latest one. We want the freshest imagery to be used. How do you see the fresh? Is here with the date, which says show background panel. You can get the date as well. So it says 2018 to 2022. Until this period it was valid. Map box seems to be very blur. This is the image which is very old, but I can definitely make it out that a lot of infrastructure changes have not happened in this area. I see this is reworld as well, but I think which is also equally blur. So I think Bing is okay, and 2020 is also okay for me to analyze what this particular situation looks like. Okay, so now what I would do here is I'll try to move this particular building. Just select that feature, right click, and then you will get this type of options. Okay, now if you also notice, there are 4 points or 4 shape points which are white in color, and there's one which is gray in color. So gray ones are the ones, those who have got connected, right? So if you notice, this has become a snipped shape point. Okay, so what we want to do is just right click on that particular gray point, and the second option says disconnect, and I'm going to just disconnect that particular building, and I'm going to realign this one to the existing location that I have right now, and just this one to the nearby location where I've been trying to relocate it. But switching between aerial imagery is very important for everyone to make a better decision here. Okay, so now this is where I have tried to move the, I've disconnected the overlap here that was present. And let's check once again if this has any information. Okay, so now as I said also in the tag table while I was reading the instructions, this is the tag table, and as there you go adding information, you will see the tag table keeps on increasing. Okay, the values get adding to it. For example, just as an example purpose, I gave name to this building as my name. Okay, not saving anything, just for the demo purpose. If you see, the tag table has got one more value, which is name is equal to Kiran. Okay, so this is how a particular feature becomes richer and richer as we keep on adding information, valid information, okay, trusted information. The tag table keeps on increasing. Now as much as tag value it has, tag information it has, it would be considered as the most or a feature that has very good quality. Okay, so this way I can define, okay, somebody has spent their time in adding name to this, maybe address to this. I don't know if this is anything else, but let me also demo you adding a district information here. So if I say this is Pune, the tag table automatically gets updated, but that's not what we want to do. Okay, we are not going to add incorrect information or vandalize the database. So that's the reason. This much is okay for me. Let me focus on my give and edit. And on the top right, you see there's a save button. I'm just going to save. There's a default comment added here. In the sources you can mention aerial imagery, but it is absolutely also okay if you skip this source, right? I know under this challenge we have been using these 4 major sources that we have, being Isri World, Beta Clarity, right? And the third one is Mapbox. So I know amongst this 4 or 5 images that are available you're using. So not every time it is essential, it is understood. I'm saving your time. Aerial imagery, even if you add, even if you don't add, that's still okay. But if you're not confident, this checkbox is very important. If you're not confident and if you want somebody to review your edits, please check this box on. In this case, I'm confident and I'm not going to check this on, and I'm going to upload my edits. So I have solved one tiny overlap in this case. This is the chain set ID that I've got for my particular edit. One important task everyone forgets, but please don't forget, I'm expecting this from this group, okay? Coming back to MapRoulette and then saying I fixed this task. No need to write any additional comment here. You can definitely skip that. Just say submit, and before submitting, choose whatever you like for the next task, your preference, whether you want it at a random location or you want it at a nearby location. I prefer using nearby, so this is the way I'm going to solve it. Okay, so we are done demoing first task, but let me also do a couple of more tasks so that everyone becomes confident. Okay, by the time MapRoulette is taking time to save our edits, because it's a very wrong time for us to do mapathon, let me know if you have any questions. Okay, now this is where the second task is. I will parallelly demo, but if you have questions, unmute yourself and we can definitely have question and answers.
Current people, there are some people who have asked question in chats as well.
Okay, if you can help me, then my taking those questions, I will demo plus I'll also answer.
Yeah, even I had a question. What are MR tags? I saw there. Like you can add MR tags while commenting. So what are they?
Yes, MR tags basically are the tags that we are using while we are solving this. Okay. For example, MR is basically map ruling. If you want to tag anything else in that particular section, I've not really explored that, but I have always skipped that button. But I think Nilabrata, if you know more about MR tags, you can definitely answer to that question. Let me see. I am sure if I explored that option, I would definitely get something. But we have never suggested adding MR tags so far. That's the reason I've not explored it so far. 1 second.
Uh,
I think
Nilabrata,
I've
are
put
you trying to say
Nilabrata on
something?
spotlight.
just Kiran, just to be sure, you mean the tags on the MapRoulette website, right?
Correct, correct, correct.
Yes. So like, I think from what I can remember correctly, these are tags which are like for sorting stuff on MapRoulette. So say if you have a challenge for buildings or say a particular type of buildings or say what sort of fixes, you can just group them by tag.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's try demoing something while I'm saving my tasks here in MapRoulette. Let's say I fixed it. This MR tag, right? No, I really haven't added anything, but it's not mandatory for anyone here to add things here, but I'll definitely explore what can be added here if you want to be more careful about your edits. Yes, there was somebody saying something. No questions.
None for now.
There are some more questions.
On the
Okay,
chat,
okay.
There are another question is there are no limitations for creating custom tags, right?
Yes, no limitations, but please make sure you're sticking to the guidelines and the data or the values that you're giving to those tags is really a valid information. If you uh, give incorrect information or not a trusted information, if you keep on adding, that is considered as vandalism, right? So we don't really it's not really a good practice. I won't recommend anybody doing that, but as much as you know, what we are doing right now is solving an error in the map database, which is a building and building overlap. So I want you to focus on that. When we would do add feature related project or maybe a mapathon, then in that case we can focus on adding additional information or tags to that feature. But here our task has been just to solve that overlap. So I would suggest everyone to stick to the given location and given task, and we are good so far. But if you are really willing to add database in your local area, for example, or maybe a vacation area that you recently visited, and you there's a resort, and you know there's a place which you know about, like district, pin code, and everything, you can definitely jump onto that location, add that building as Add that resort as a building, add your building as well as a building feature in map database. Give it a name. Of course your house is going to have a name, of course your apartment is going to have a name, and where you're living you are going to have an information related to how many floors it has, how much is the height the building has, or maybe also say there are other information like pin code as well, and district, city, street name, everything. So in that case you can definitely go and add that particular feature. But now because I'm focusing on MapRoulette challenges, this is going to be randomly in the northern part of India, and I don't know anything about which state I am into right now, right? So what I currently know is only the given error, which is related to building and building overlap. Okay, so focus on solving the error in this particular challenge. Okay, so now also pay attention that sometimes any newbie can struggle identifying the location in the ID editor. Now, if you notice, the blue highlight that is present in MapRoulette is not really visible here. That is the limitation, I would say, or it is a challenging part. What I usually prefer is I usually have building the aerial imagery settings on here. Okay, but I just make sure that I have the same imagery on in both the tools. Like if I'm using Bing imagery here, I also make sure that Bing is added here as well. Okay, so now this way I can see where exactly, this makes my life easier to identify the location of that particular error. Okay, now let's see, this is the exact error where this has been highlighting things. Okay, and this way you can also turn on the map database in MapRoulette so you can clearly see. And if you want to jump back to again base map, this is where you can select OpenStreetMap standard. Okay, now I can see there's a road that has a little bit of spike, and on the left of that spike is the exact error. So sometimes it might become challenging to identify the error. This was the spike, and I see there is a tiny overlap here. So this is not really a good practice. Whoever has added this, it's okay, they might have ignored the error, but tool is very smart, it gives us the error, and we are going to try to solve this error. But see, as a good cartographer, what annoys me the most is the aerial imagery quality here. And even if I'm solving the error, I'm not making more sense to the quality of this particular location. Now, considering the image and trusting the mapper who has added this particular building, I see this building is quite updated. I see a lot of houses being visible in MapRoulette, but it is not very, very clear that I can take a confident decision here. Okay. So I am keeping this information as it is, what I have, solving the error. Maybe whenever we'll have a better images in the country or updated images, like Mapbox has shared a lot of areas with better images now. In that case, we can definitely have quality issues being solved right now. Okay, but whatever struggle I have, even this particular spike, I will correct this and make it more correct. I don't need unnecessary shape points, just giving this road a correct shape and solving it as of now.
Kiran, if I may for a second.
Sure, Nilabrata, go ahead.
Yeah, so in response to Prakhar, there's one thing that I would like to mention that you may notice that a lot of buildings in different satellite imageries, if they're tall, they will be like they will look like as if they've shifted a few meters here and there. Now, due to the
Correct.
nature of like the nature of how satellite imageries, as in how they're taken,
Captured.
yeah, and how they're captured, they will have a bit of a shift like that. So the best way to map these buildings would be to just map them first, like draw the footprint, like trace along the footprint, uh, the rooftop. Just trace along the rooftop first, and then shift it to where the shadow is.
Correct.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
what
one
I.
very good example in my neighborhood. I can take everyone through that. So this could be something for everyone to
I have
understand
faced
what we are
this
trying to.
issue too, like the satellite imagery one. The images were not really clear, but on the point of like you should start from the rooftop and then end till where the shadow ends. But wouldn't it make it like the data incorrect because shadows extend where till the light reaches?
I want to correct myself. Not the shadows, but like where the stretching ends, the stretching of the buildings end.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if I am able to showcase here, allow me to turn on buildings. Now you will be able to understand what we are trying to say here. Okay, so as I said, thumb rule in mapping is always capture the foot of the building and not the roof. Okay, so now in this case, any mapper would consider that, okay, I see a building here and I see this is the terrace and I'll map like this. This is super wrong. Okay, now imagine the angle of this aerial imagery that has captured in this particular area, right? And this on the right hand side, you see these are all balconies, windows, and this is the elevation of that building. This is not really the shape of the building. Okay, so what is okay for a good cartographer, because you cannot identify foot here, it is okay, I'll just move this building for demo purpose to some side, okay, to a side, and I'll try to figure out the exact shape of this building, which is very good mapped by this cartographer who has done it. But just randomly doing this, and just to have that, just to make my life easier while I'm mapping, I'm just going to do the terrace. With Q key, you can make the shape of this building correct. Okay, I'm still not very happy with the shape, but spend some time in giving the shape, the accurate shape of this particular building. Okay, now giving the shape of this building, this is kind of a thumb rule. Keep this in mind always, always capture the foot of that building. Save your life or make your job easy by marking a terrace, but make sure after you're done mapping terrace, you just move it to the foot. Right? Everyone with me on this? It is super important. And I'm undoing everything that I did in this to demo, okay? Because I don't want to ruin what other cartographer has already done something nice here. Okay, everyone. Please do not consider that this shape has been incorrectly drawn. This is not incorrect. This has been correctly done by the mapper. This moving to the foot is very important. Also, make sure that you're using same imageries. And if you're not using the same imagery, you will definitely think, no, this mapper has done a very bad job. Okay. So make sure you're using the correct one, the latest one, the freshest one. And accordingly, you can have this decision made. Okay, I'm closing my area. I'm jumping back to the current location. And I would like to demo a couple of more tasks. Tanmay, let me know if we have time and I can spend more time in demoing. Okay.
Yeah, we definitely have time.
Okay. So I took the next task, which is right here on a very edgy road again on the left hand side. So let me zoom in. And that's okay, even if you lost your location and if it is becoming. Now what has happened is I've turned on road from the map data. So let me jump back and turn on all the road information here. Okay. I think I've turned on every road feature. Let's turn on all the buildings as well, because we are doing a lot of building. It's up to you. You can enable everything at once if you want a very good practice to follow. But now, as I have lost the location, I don't know where exactly I have jumped because of the demo as well. It's okay. You can still go back to MapRoulette and say edit in ID, and it will take back to you on the same location where you were. Okay, now paying attention to the road and other details. With high rise building, it's challenging, but with some one story houses, one story building, two-story building, it is not that challenging to map foot of the building. Okay, so now let's try to align with which image was better here. Just being a good cartographer, ensuring everything is okay. Okay, with this I think it aligns a lot, but decision making becomes very challenging. So what I would again suggest is, with imagery offset also, you can try to adjust the imagery as you want. Okay, if things are not really matching to what we want, and there's a slight like minute difference in what you're trying to do. Okay, but with this blur imagery, I see data is matching, and I see there's a house underneath this particular building. So what I'm doing is just relocating that overlapping building to what I see in the background. But I want everyone in this group to notice that where I've actually placed the building, there's something in gray color, right? This is very blur, but I'm doing my best job to keep a square shape polygon on top of it. So this is how I'm trying to resolve it. Okay. So that's how everyone is again expected to put your brains, eyes at work now and make the best decision to resolve this kind of errors. Okay. I'm also making the road I'm giving a better shape to that. I also see there's a nearby building which is touching that road, which is not really a good practice. Not even a single building shape point or road shape point should touch the buildings, okay? Giving it a nice smooth turn. Always, if you notice TomTom maps, if you've ever gone through, you will notice each and every road that we create has a very smooth turn, okay? We never give such sharp angles to anything. That's actually one of the benefits you guys can have when you have been getting training from an industry expert who spent like 8+ years in cartography. And we have some like thumb rules, best practices to follow, which I love to share with everyone. And that is something is going to make your editing quality really, really nice, precise, of premium quality, I would say. So the students that I've been training so far in last couple of weeks, they've been doing really well. They've spent also good time in solving this kind of challenges, of course, with you. Now I would have more 78 students who are going to map on this particular challenge. And of course, congratulations to the entire OSM India community and we all here, that we are going to have these many improved buildings in our country, which is super, super big achievement for us. Okay, but yes, doing it correctly is important. So we are trying to make the database better, and please don't make any edit that would ruin the quality of it further. Okay, so I have solved this case as well, saying I fixed it. Let's say random location and see if we get something in a little bit of urban area. See, this is the tiny overlap that I have here. Oops, no, this is not what I want to do. Edit an ID. Jumping back to the same location.
Kiran, by the way, I'm unable to like open the ID in another tab. Like, what should I do? I
Yes.
know like how my notifications are off, as you
If
mentioned.
yes, if you see the URL on the top right, you will see that pop-up notification is blocked. On the extreme
Yeah.
right hand side of the URL, you will see that, and say just always allow.
Oh, okay. Let me try.
Yes, now you will be able to open it.
You may continue, or I'll try to figure it out.
Okay, did that not help?
No, no. I
But you
mean,
can share your screen. I can help if you want.
okay, sure. We can do that at the end. You may continue.
Yeah. Okay, okay, sure. So now look at this particular building doesn't really match to what I see in reality. The overlap. Let's try to have different images to analyze the situation. This looks pretty much matching to what the database is right now. And I'll just try to avoid this overlap by giving it a correct shape. Shape also, I'm trying my best to what I see as that white object in the blur imagery. Okay, it's super difficult, guys. Trust me, India is a super challenging country, but your contribution is really going to add a lot of value to that. Now, if you look at this particular city, it has lot of errors. Now, this road is going through the building. Super wrong. This building is also going through that road. So focus on what has been given to you. If I spend time fixing everything, then I'll spend my entire life fixing all these things. I have done fixing my given error, uploading my task, uploading my edits, coming back to MapRoulette, saying I fixed it, and give me a random location again. And this is the next location that I got. Let's just try to solve this as well. Edit an ID. By the way, also one thing for everyone to know is that I fixed it has 5 points. So if you see 976 is what my current score is. This way we can also have a tiny competition amongst yourself, that who has got the maximum point, who is on the highest in the leaderboard. So likewise, we can do recognition as well from for everyone there. Okay. So pretty good location, pretty good city. And I see this has been like overlapping. Can you see that minor overlap?
Yeah, yeah. There is a
Now,
minor
what
overlap.
very, very tiny one, very difficult to notice with your eyes, but that's how this challenge is helpful with. Okay. Now, I'm just making a small gap between these two buildings, and here I just have to disconnect. Not a good practice, okay, to connect each and every building to like have a common wall between them. Okay. This
Okay,
much
I
gap is
had this
okay.
doubt too. Like most of the like not most of the buildings, but some of the buildings that we see, they are like connected to each other. So we don't really get here like from the satellite imagery that they are connected or not. So what should we do in that case?
Yes, it is a best practice to have a very minute gap in this case. Like even with unorganized settlements that we have in the country, it is very difficult. So it is still suggested that you keep a very minute millimeters, centimeters of gap between that. Not noticeable, but it should be there. And if you really
Okay.
want to, if you're really struggling in drawing entire each and every single dwelling, each and every single house, then it is still okay if you draw an outline to that settlement and mark it as a residential area as well. That is still okay. And you can just mark it as, if it has name, something like Andheri, for example, has a lot of unorganized settlements. In that case, you can draw the outline and just say this is the area Dharavi or something like that. Okay. So this way we can also map. But if you're really good at plotting the outline of each and every building, I would definitely encourage go ahead and do that. Like I think in Bangladesh community, there's this guy Brazil Singh who has done really amazing job with this kind of settlements. He has gone into the settlements, he has captured a lot of information, he has collected data, he has added that to information to the map, and I think they have really amazing in database there in for unorganized settlements as well. So we can do something similar for our country as well, but we are still growing, right? So we can have this kind of features, mapping activities in future. Okay, uploading, coming back to MapRoulette, saying I fixed it, and submit. See, tiny overlap. There are very major overlaps here. It's up to you if you can spend time fixing those as well. That's still okay. But I would focus more on the given location, because I'm sure for these also there would be a task generated. Like there are 4,000 ish tasks, and there would be something definitely created for this kind of overlaps as well. Yeah. Now imagery is very dark here. Please try to switch between different imageries. This looks like a hilly area, maybe some kind of a touristy place, but that's how we have to do it. Okay, if you're not really able to decide what exactly looks a good quality error edit here, please focus on solving that error at the moment. Okay, let's see which is the fresh imagery here by turning on background panel information. I don't see date for Mapbox. This is 2023, which is quite fresh but super challenging image to use. I cannot take any decision using that. This also, it's 2024, but I cannot use to take any decision. Same. But what I'm going to decide in this case is, because I'm not able to locate the current shape of this building, I would prefer keeping it where it is, where this mapper has added. Okay, trusting his edits, just solving that particular overlap, this particular overlap that was there, and saving this edits. Okay, that is also something you can follow when the imageries are super difficult. Can't complete is not really a sensible decision here, because I know a building cannot overlap another building unless it has been a situation which can be said as according to reality, right? I think there are very few cases in India where you can say the building is overlapping another building, or it's intersecting on a very same level as well. I had a very good example. Let me see if I have it right now with me, where I can show you how a valid building and building overlap looks like. But not a building and building, but I have a building and a road overlap case. So let me spend some time showing that case to you. Okay, one second. I think I posted it on my page. I don't see it now. Ah, yeah, I found it. We'll give the link here in the chat so that everyone can take a look, like what according to reality situation looks like. Okay, so this is
Sure.
page. This is building intersecting a highway. Okay, this is a real world case where road is passing underneath a building. So this kind of real world situations would be there, and you can accordingly make decisions. Okay. Okay, is everyone ready to start contributing on this map ruler challenge? It's okay. I understand everyone will have questions. Everyone is just started contributing. And it is a tricky country, of course. We don't have really good quality images, but you can put your best in resolving that particular error, and we can have a really good map database for buildings in India, and which you can
Okay,
definitely start
I
using
have
for
one
any of
question.
the. Yes, yes, let's have it.
As we like contribute to like OSM like any data points. So when we solve ruler challenges, are
Mm-hmm.
there is a heat map in OSM when we see our account. So will that update as well with the challenges we solve, like the
Which
heat map,
heat map you're saying, with the one that comes under your
like the
profile?
yeah, the rectangle one, the contribution where
Yes, yes,
we
yes,
can see
yes.
our contribution.
Correct. That would of course get highlighted as you do the contributions. It will become darker as your
So I'm
contribution
asking about
goes.
the challenges.
This map ruler challenges?
Yeah, like as we solve the challenges, are are they do they count too as well?
Yes, 100% they would count.
Oh, okay.
I think the
So after all,
MapRoulette account is linked to your OSM account. So the changes you
correct.
make
It's
using MapRoulette, they are automatically pushed to your OSM account, right?
correct.
Okay.
So you're using actually same credentials as your OpenStreetMap account.
Can you also like go over hot OSM? I think a lot of us would be interested in that.
Hot OSM, okay, but I think we would have to see if we have good projects here. I am checking with the OSM India community, but let's see if we have something for India to contribute on.
But
I think this
also,
is also one of the, yeah,
yeah, yeah, continue.
I think this is one of the best platforms. I think my favorite platforms of OpenStreetMap where you can actually contribute and support humanitarian efforts and uh, provide any kind of support that you can related to uh, any issues, be it respect to sustainable development, be it respect to climate resilience challenges. Like there's an entire group of hot OSM, right? Humanitarian OpenStreetMap team. You can follow their AP Hub channel as well on the LinkedIn, and you can definitely see how we can do it. Okay. So now, if you notice, it is the same credentials that I've been using for OpenStreetMap with the same credentials I've logged in here. Let me jump back again to the interface, how the interface looks like. This is what you will see when you open Hot Tasking Manager, and the red button here says Start Mapping. But as an Indian, I would jump into India project. So I'll click Explore Projects. Let's see if we have something in India. Okay, we have Sikkim earthquake mapping, but the progress says it's almost done. Mapping farms in Delhi looks interesting project. Okay, we have missing water area. So World Water Day is very close, which is 22nd of March. Let's see if we have something here to contribute. Okay. Okay, this is TomTom project, which is very nice. So we can have some really good cases to map. So now everyone pay attention. This is even more simpler tool for you to contribute. With the bottom right contribute button, I'm going to select a task. You can manually as well select like this. If you notice, it becomes darker. And if I see there's on the base map there's a water present here, but let's see in this task I'm saying select map task. But please pay attention on the legend here as well: white, blue, yellow, green, gray, pink, and there's locked one. So locked are usually one that has been taken by some of us in the same group. If I've taken this, and if you're jumping on the same challenge, you will see there's a lock present on this grid, which is clear meaning that I have been mapping on this particular grid. Okay. Available for mapping, ready for validation. Ready for validation is when the mapping activity has been done and it has been sent to validation. Okay. And when you get a reward, or if you get any box which is highlighted in pale yellow, it also says that it has come from validation. Okay, QC has been done, and then you have got this particular challenge to see if there is more mapping needed in that task. And when QC is done, when mapping is done, in that case you will see those as green. So when this particular program or this project would be completed, every grid should look green in color. Okay, gray areas and priority areas pink polygons are restricted ones. You are not really allowed, and they are not even available for mapping for different reasons. For unavailable, there could be poor imageries, there could be several other challenges, so we keep those areas unavailable just to save your analysis time. Priority areas could be military, defense, anything that is restricted. Okay, so we should not map in such kind of areas. Again, one of the best practices. So let me try to do this particular grid, and I'm saying map selected task, and my task here is to add missing water areas. Okay, edit now. If you're a new person, please take the start the walkthrough as well. This helps you with the tool usage, and it makes your life easy. Okay, now this is a super big grid for me to analyze. If you see, if I keep on zooming in, there are a lot of water areas that are present, and which looks like mapped, which is very good. I see there's an outline present, but I'll have to see the entire area. Now I see there are tiny water bodies, ponds that are present in this particular grid. But if you see, it is super big, and it will take maybe half of my day, like 4 hours, if I keep on mapping. So what I usually do is, if you come on the right hand side here, completion box. Okay, please notice on the buttons that I'm selecting. In the completion box, if you scroll to the bottom, it says split task, and if I click that black button, it will uh, divide my grid into small gridders. Okay, it's like small tiny grids, and then I can select one particular and I can take. So this again makes our life easy. But again, you will say, Kiran, this is even still it looks bigger, but that's what we are going to do. Okay, that's the only thing, the only way to reduce it further. Okay, I don't think you can split it even further than that. Let's try. And if it does, I think we are good. Oh yes, it has done. So I'm making the grid even smaller, which is really a good way to map. Okay, so now we are again doing the same practice. See which is the latest imagery present here, and in which imagery you can see the water bodies are present. Okay, so this could also be a very nice project for everyone to contribute. I'm identifying where exactly there are water bodies. It could be a well, it could be anything that you would notice in this particular grid. Okay, best practice here is again to stick inside that polygon and not to go outside this polygon, and identify where exactly the water bodies are present. Okay, trying my best. In the previous grid, I did see a lot of water areas that were present. Here there's a big water body which is very well mapped. But let's see if we have any additional, like agricultural ponds as well, which are artificially made by farmers. You can add those as well. And wells, for example, you can do any additional things that you want. Also notice what I usually do as a cartographer is I usually trace these buildings. Okay, not buildings, sorry, the tree lines. Usually there's a stream underneath that. Okay, so where the vegetation grows, there's always a stream, but if you can clearly make it out, you can definitely start capturing a stream as well. So but your image analysis needs to be very good for that. Okay, perfect. I have found a water body, and let's map the outline. I'm not going to capture this island here. I'm leaving it outside my polygon. Try to match the shape as best as you can, but please make sure you're doing with the latest imageries, giving it a very good shape. Okay, this looks pretty much okay for me. Okay, I clicked enter, and very smartly this tool has started giving me suggestions related to area feature. Now it's obvious that I've selected water, hence I'm selecting water bodies, opening the drop down. But I see there are a lot of options. Okay, as a newbie now, you will be able to understand. I want you to spend time in understanding what exactly these different categories are. When should I mark it as water? When should I mark it as pond, lake, reservoir, river area, basin? Okay. One easy job OSM has done is this with I button. If you click this I button, you will get like one tiny definition here, and which would define what exactly a water would look like. Okay, so reading this definition as a newbie is going to really help you out in the entire lifetime. Okay, so let's read: any inland body of water from natural, such as a lake or a pond or a artificial like a moat or a canal. Okay, I'm still not convinced. Let's see what ponds is. I'm still thinking that this could be a pond as well. Okay, a small body of standing water, man made in most cases. Okay, I'm not sure if this is man made. So let me also see with lake. What does lake say? A natural or a semi natural body of relatively still, fresh, or salt water which is surrounded by land, which looks very much similar. Reservoir, let's also read reservoir. I know it's going to be something related to dam, but let's give one moment to read the definition. Okay, an artificial lake which may be used to store water. Okay, usually formed by a dam over a natural water course. Okay, so now your brain has to go and work and see which exactly category you're going to choose. If you're not sure, I would encourage you to just mark it as water. Okay, but if you can figure it out, it's a dam, I see there's a dam wall, then you can definitely go and mark this according to the categories that are available in the map. So I think this is done. Now, one very important instruction for everyone to know is I'm done adding this one particular polygon, so I'm going to save this from inside this particular feature. Okay, say aerial imagery here. Okay, you don't have to add any comment here, saving your time again. Upload. But we are still not done with the entire grid. That's what I want everyone to pay attention to what I'm saying. This entire pink polygon, which is my grid, is not yet 100% done. When you would be done mapping each and every water body in this grid, then you're going to come here in the completion box, and then you're saying, is this task completely mapped? If you have mapped, say yes. If you have not mapped, it's partially mapped, say no. Okay, when you say no, the grid can be assigned to a new mapper. Okay, if for example today it's 7:19 my side and I'm logging out, I don't have time to complete this grid, then I can say no, I can come back tomorrow, maybe I can take same grid. But if there are more mappers mapping after 7 o'clock in my region, they can get this grid as well and they can complete it. Okay, so make sure you draw one water body, save it from inside, and when the entire grid is done, you say yes, this task is completely mapped. If you want to leave a comment, definitely write something here and just go and submit the task. Okay, so this is also a very relevant challenge to
Just a
work on.
question.
Yes, yes, go
I
ahead.
see a water body there at the like border. Like it's the water body is crossing that pink border. So like,
Correct.
do you map only the part where that is in the border, or do you map the whole thing?
Yes, I would rather prefer mapping the whole thing. So I'll pick any of the polygons here and I'll start capturing the outline. So maybe I think this is some import activity that has been done, which is not matching the reality right now. So it's okay to check what this particular feature looks like right now. It has 5 tags, maybe it has source. Okay, it has multi polygons. Okay, so there has been some mapping activity done, but I'm not really satisfied with how this has been done. So I can spend my time in just correcting this particular shape and making it of what I see in the real world. Okay, and you can continue drawing because this is one whole body, right? There could be another grid on top of this and there would be another mapper working on it. But as a again, best practice for a cartographer is anything that lies on the border of your grid, and if it is not a map, it is your responsibility to map. Okay, for example, there could also be a building which is crossing maybe partially, which is falling partially inside your grid and maybe partially outside the grid. Okay, but then if both the mappers, like a mapper on the northern side who has a northern grid and then you doing this grid, if you decide not to capture, then we would miss out entirely on that feature. But if you see things are missing, things are not digitized, we are definitely going to digitize even if it is in on the border. Okay, exactly on the border. I don't want you to map outside border, but some rare cases like this particular pond which is across two grids right now, maybe there would also be a grid here, but either this person decides to create this remaining portion or this person who's right now me, I decide to correct this entire shape of this polygon, okay, of this water body. So mutually we have to make this work.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Any other questions? Please do ask.
Yeah, like
Okay.
what are some common and not so common mistakes beginners make while mapping so that they
I
know
have
to
I have
not
a
make
question.
mistakes?
Like we have like it's coming from Git actually. So in Git we face these merge conflicts. Like two people are working on a same code at the same time, and they post it on the like software. You say, so from the conflicts from both of the codes, do these things happen here as well?
Yes, they do happen. And when you will try to save, then the tool would give you one recommendation that there's a duplicate activity going on and which edits would you like to save. So you decide, I think they would also show you the username and you can decide which particular edits you would like to save. If you have done editing, check with the user once, hey, have you done mapping this polygon? If they say yes, then you have given two options here in OpenStreetMap, either save your edit or save the other person's edit. So based on your discussions, conversation, you can decide whose edits can be saved here. Yeah. But you can chat. You have to chat with that mapper in this case.
Okay. So like where can we know who has mapped it? Like where can we
Yes.
know?
If you click this particular feature, like when you try to save, there are two ways. When you try to save, it will show you that this feature has already been mapped. Whose edits would you like to save? Then you can say save my edits or save other person's edit. Another person, you can see their profile name mentioned in that same message. Okay. But if you want to try to see who has fixed this particular edit, here is the tiny, you select the feature, and on the bottom left, if you see view on openstreetmap.org, if you click that URL, you will see this was edited 14 years ago by Indigo MC. I don't know who that is, maybe an automated account. Okay. So see, they have said that lakes from Bingsar. So this is how they've made it. But doesn't look like a good outline of this pond. And you
Oh,
can then try to, if this user is active, you can try to interact with them through this page as well.
oh, he's active. Oh,
Yes. And he's
Great.
based in London, I think. They're doing
oh,
something.
one more thing. This was now 14 years ago, so this might be like reverse shifting backwards or front because of
Correct.
evaporation.
Exactly. So also depending on which season the image has been captured, it could be monsoon, sometimes it could be summer, sometimes the outline would definitely vary. But then you can definitely decide. That's why I always say keep practicing on changing or switching between different images. And whichever matches to the best reality, you can keep that one. But a lot of import activities that have happened in India are just being coming from some random source. Okay, and they need correction is what I have observed so far. Most of the cases they need correction. So like somebody who's a human and doing edits is quite different than a robot or machine doing any edits. Okay, so your edits would be more valuable than any machine or robots is what I see, my experience is.
Kiran, another thing that I would like to add here would be that the OSM wiki that this goes for everyone here. If you're confused as to how to tag a certain feature, how to do it, how to draw the perimeter and everything, you can just head over to the OpenStreetMap wiki. There you can find documentation for every single tag over there. And I think you should get like an idea about how to do certain things, how to not do certain things. It's pretty comprehensive, in my opinion. So yeah, there's that.
Yep, yep.
For rivers and water bodies, for instance, it's usually advised to map the water covered area to the point where the high tides usually go. So there's that.
Correct, correct. So yes, do
Could you
refer
please
wiki.
repeat that like high density thing?
Come again.
Could you please repeat that high density thing?
Ah, yes. So, like for rivers, it's usually advised that the covered area be mapped till where it goes during high tide.
Okay. Oh,
And for
okay.
like other water bodies, it's usually like wherever the water reaches till the most during monsoon.
Okay. That's clear.
You can take hot projects as well for India. The same maybe Gujarat you can start with, and you can contribute to that as well. Okay, but also Tanmay, Avnish, let's make a practice that you spend time with mappers. I think let's create some group where we can stay in touch. We can answer your queries. Maybe you can compile questions. Maybe I think there would be a lot of questions that you can resolve at your end, maybe by just checking the situation. But if there are some really strange cases you would like to discuss, I'm there to support. You can write a one liner message to me over WhatsApp is also okay, and I can give my inputs there to resolve it. Okay.
We'll ask them to join your Telegram community or like
Yeah, the
HCP
OSM
server
India
as well.
community. They can join that.
Yeah, okay. OSM India is also pretty much okay. You can definitely ask questions there.
Okay, great.
Cool. Hope you liked today's session. I try to keep it very very simple, fun, because I know everyone has just started. Many of them are experienced, but good to have some easy peasy challenges so that you gain also a lot of interest. Okay, but I'm there to support and be with you, train you, and we can definitely make this OpenStreetMap India database look very very nice in coming days.
It was a great session. I got to learn a lot.
So
Does anyone
thanks,
have any
thanks a
more
lot.
questions?
I mean, I have questions, but okay, I'll they'll get clear when I start solving like or start doing the challenges because it won't be done in just one go or one
Yeah,
session.
speaking of map roll challenges, can you just tell me how to like make challenges? Can anyone just publish their challenges on map roll? Like, what is the
Yes, I
workflow?
think everyone can do that. If you have kind of a file, maybe GeoJSON, something, you can definitely explore. Because for my team, I have always, I've been working with this operations team that I have in TomTom who gives me ready challenges, but it's not really a rocket science. You can definitely explore how you can create challenges in MapRole. You just need manager access. I don't know how you can get manager access. I was given easily by my team, but you can see and you can definitely create projects on MapRole. I'm sure Nilabrata might have done some. I don't know. Or maybe Dev that has also done a lot. He's very active in Pune. And if you want something, you can definitely make.
As far as I'm concerned, everyone can make their own projects on MapReduce. Just that I don't exactly remember how I forgot the exact process. Though again, you can just go through MapReduce documentation or on the OSM wiki. I think there should be steps laid out as to how to do it.
Correct. And I also do have internal dashboard, which is something I use as a leaderboard as well, where I see maximum edits coming in, which I can quickly show you. But this is not something I can share with everyone here. So, but a quick uh, heads up that where I can see your contributions. So this is the report, and this is the current leaderboard that we have. For March, I have fixed the date like from 1st of March until 16th, which is the freshest most data that we have. And if you see, India is in March, we are at top 4. With your contribution, of course, we can be on top 1. Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Mozambique, they're doing some really amazing work. So let's bring India on top again. And every day I can change the date here. Like today's contribution, I can see tomorrow. So at 12 noon my time, this report gets reflected and I can see who has been doing the highest contribution. So this is the top contributors section. And if I filter out India right now, you can see this is the current status. And these are all the students that I've been training in Pune right now. So they come to TomTom for 120 hours of their on-job training program, right? So this is how they've been contributing 8 hours every day industry work experience they're getting at TomTom. So this way they're contributing and I can see their names coming up on the leaderboard. So as this particular group also FOSS Club also starts mapping, your names would definitely start coming up in the leaderboard. What is essential for everyone to make a note that TomTom hashtag has been added to your every chain set. So I still appreciate you using every door or any mobile applications which you love. to use. But please make sure at the back end in the chain set comment you're adding TomTom hashtag. So this way I would be able to see that the contribution being made by this mapper is really nice, active, and they are supporting the OSM India community work as well. So uh, just a heads up, if you're doing Mapillary as well, do let me know your Mapillary profile name. I can add you under TomTom community, and we can have some recognitions even for some guys, girls who are doing Mapillary or field data collection using these mobile applications.
Yeah, sure. Like if I'm
All right.
mapping my neighborhood and it is not related to any map roller challenge, can I still like add a hashtag TT?
Yes, you can. And rather, I would encourage everyone to add, even if you're doing in your local area. This way, I can see that your contribution is very, very active. And if I see you actively contributing, and my TomTom team also notices that you are a top contributor, we are also offering internship opportunities for the most active mappers in the country. Like we have already done for Amsterdam, we have already done for Africa, for Poland, we have done, but I'm still looking for active contributors in India who have learned a lot about Wiki, about their contributions. They're doing really good job, like quality wise. And I'm really looking forward to have, like, Nilabrata is always on my mind. I can openly share that he is actively doing a lot of engagement activities in Siliguri. He has established his own youth mapper chapter, which is very, very proud thing. I'm very proud of that, Nilabrata. We are also exploring how we can ease life of every contributor. Like we also discussed on the drone project, like can we capture drone imageries in our region, upload these images on OpenStreetMap, and just share with the community so that we have good images, we can do mapping, and then we can take those images out as well. So we're still brainstorming a lot of activities that we can do together, but this is some kind of person that I would really give preference to, like maybe Kashish as well, like Contrapunctus is doing some amazing job in Mumbai, in Delhi. Kashish is always on my mind. So now they're based in different regions, in different states, but if they are ready to relocate, I would definitely love to have them as interns, like paid interns, and they can make really good money at TomTom. Okay, so this is kind of opportunities that I'm really happy to offer everyone in OSM India community. So be very, very active. Keep using our TomTom hashtag, which I can try to paste in our chat as well. Know that this is machine readable, so you have to use this in the same format. You cannot change this format. Okay, hashtag TT underscore event, and let's bring India back on top.
Yep, surely. Tushar has a question he has asked in the chat. Is it safe, possible to upload GeoJSON files in OSM? I mean, we have to make sure that the files don't contain copyrights and stuff like that. But if we do stumble upon open source files, then can we upload that?
Yes, I don't think there's anything that can restrict you unless you are disrupting that's already present in the database. So be careful, be mindful, seek input from the OSM India community. I would always recommend that. Seek inputs from Nilabrata. There are active members like Devdutt who can definitely add their inputs, right? So definitely you can do that. And but make sure you're not disturbing the database. Okay, if it is of good quality, my always recommendation is start with tiny pilots. Okay, if the pilots are successful, you can definitely try things doing out in a larger on a larger scale as well.
Another thing to this would be just please make sure that the data is recent enough and it's of quality. If there's something that you don't know, you cannot verify, please do not add it at all. It's better to
True.
not import than to add incorrect data. I have been dealing with a lot of these cases from a particular company, and yeah, needless to say, it's been quite a hell. So please don't, for your and others' sake.
And let's also report things that have been incorrectly being added to the database. If you see something fishy, incorrect, please stop that editor, talk to them, say them, hey, this is not a good way to add, but be very professional, polite, and let's teach everyone. Be a very good OSM citizen is what my message is always to every group that I talk to. And this way we can definitely build best OSM data for India or any other country.
So where do we like report these mistakes to, like, or to the communities or to the person who has mapped them directly?
Correct, correct. So if you see, I showed you how to open that image, and if you see that username, there's also a button which says report this user, but which would be a secondary step. First thing is always try to interact with this person. If you have issues with particular chain set, copy that chain set, say them that, hey, I was noticing your edits. I think this is not really matching the reality. The shape needs to be improved. Your building is touching the other buildings, or it is incorrectly overlapping on a road. Can you please check? So if they are responding, they are active, they'll definitely change and make those corrections. But if they are not active, you can definitely do it yourself and make the database quality better there. But depends on how active they are. Like I've seen people who were active 18, 20 years ago, but I don't expect them to be responding to our reports right now. So you can report, like if there are some mappers who are intentionally doing vandalism to the database, not really listening to or following to the good practices, then it is good to always report this user. So under profile, you can definitely see that option, report this user.
Okay, just one last question from my side. Like, if I'm mapping some place that I've never been there, so how do I verify that what I'm mapping is actually correct? And sometimes, like, you have to map shops, their opening hours, closing hours. So, where do I source that data?
That's where I would say local knowledge plays the most important role. As much as you know, you are able, like you are independent to add that information, but something you're not sure about, please avoid adding that. If you visit Domino's and you don't know its opening hours, but you know it's Domino's, maybe Sihangat Road branch, I know. So you can add that information as name information there, but you are free to skip any information that you are uncertain, unsure, dicey about. Please don't add incorrect information. Yeah, for example, if you have visited some Domino's and you definitely know their opening hours, closing hours, and with solid information, like you've discussed with the manager there, and you know everything is official, then you can definitely go and add that information. But while saving edits, always make sure that you select source as local knowledge, which will ensure that, and which will also be considered as one of the most trusted edit by you. Okay, then nobody from community would even ask you any questions. But that source that you're adding, or that information that you're adding, must be authentic, real, trusted, and shared by some valid group. Like I would trust a manager, or I would trust Domino's website, or I would trust MacD's website for that matter. But if you have visited, like if for example a local shop, I know there's a Amul ice cream parlor near my house, and I know it opens at like 10 a.m. in the morning, it closes at 11 p.m. in the midnight. I know I've been visiting that place every week, every day, and I know blindly I can trust. So in that case, you can say it's my local knowledge. I don't even have to ask that manager. I can definitely add that information. But if I don't know, then blindly adding 10 a.m. and 11 p.m. is super, super wrong. I would never do that. It is okay to leave that field blank. Okay. No pressure in adding everything that we know. If you don't know anything, please leave that field blank.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Well, most definitely try to host mapping parties as well. Akbar over here has been conducting Delhi mapping parties since a very long time, I believe. So we can surely join them.
Yeah, we and
Absolutely.
our community, we will definitely join them. Okay, so
All
does
right.
anyone
All right.
have any more questions? They can either open their mic or they can ask in chat.
Also, like if you guys want to share anything about mapping or in general stuff. How did you guys like today's session, by the way?
Also, if someone wants to share their OSM account here, they can do so in the chat. Others can follow them.
Please react a heart if you have liked today's session. I like.
So many hours. Nice.
So, a lot of people like the section.
डेट तो बोलो ना किरण तुम। So I will as well conclude. I will take off. I'll go back home now. It's quite late for me in
Yeah.
office.
Oh,
Thanks everyone for your time, and looking forward to have your
thank you for
valuable
an amazing session.
contribution on StreetMap.
Thank you for an amazing session.
All right, everyone. Good night. Good luck
Bye.
with the mapathon. Enjoy. Do your best.
So, if anyone wants to like talk about the FOSSHAC project, they can do so. By the way, Nilabrata is also hosting like FOSSHAC at his college, Siliguri. Nilabrata, would you like to share something about your experience in hosting FOSSHAC so far?
Yes, certainly. I was just lagging for a bit. The reaction sounds just like made my device lag. So yeah. Anyway, yes. So being the lead at first club at Siliguri Government Polytechnic, we are also hosting. We are one of the local hosts for this year's FOSSAC. We have seen quite a lot of people sign up. Roughly about upwards of 45 people who have signed up for it, and so far we are seeing quite amazing contributions. Two of them are contributing to other open source projects. One of them being
Is it just me or your voice is lagging? I think your voice is lagging a bit.
certain. Yeah, no, I'm aware. Like I mentioned, I'm traveling right now, so my network's quite spotty. I think it should be clear now.
Yeah, yeah, it's better now.
Yeah, cool. Like I mentioned, so one of the folks, I mean, two of the folks are contributing to existing FOSS projects, which is amazing. Apart from that, I see another one or two-person apart from me who was also contributing to OSM, which is quite a good thing that we have people who are persistently, constantly adding things to OSM outside of mapping parties. So yeah, I think we have quite a healthy activity. Though in terms of volume, it's a bit sad, but I think that's doable. We are really focusing more on quality than quantity, and so I'm just happy enough for what we have
Yeah,
so far.
it's always quality that matters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so Akbar, would you like to share something? Has Satta joined us again? He said he'll join us. I guess not. No worries, no worries. Okay, so if there are no more questions, you are free to drop off.
By the way, just a quick, another quick one. If anyone's interested in like mapping on desktop, I might be able to organize a quick workshop the day after tomorrow in the evening. So
Definitely,
yeah,
we would love to join that. I mean, at
of course.
least the
So,
core
so
team
like,
would love to join it, and others interested in it would definitely
Oh
join.
yeah, yeah, and I was also talking about Vastuki workshop. I can also do that. I think. Yeah.
I'm really sorry I got disconnected. What did I miss?
cool.
Can
Yeah,
you
no
just
worries.
repeat again, Nilabrata, about the workshop?
Yeah, sure. So yeah. So if anyone's interested, I'm more than happy to organize a workshop on like how to map stuff using your PC using ID and maybe JAWSM. That's going to be day after tomorrow. So for those who are interested, you may contact like if the volunteers at your FOSS club. I'll just and then yeah, they can just let me know how many people are joining, and I can prep it accordingly.
Okay, definitely. I'll
Uh,
let you know.
so yeah. Being said, my network does seem to be getting spotty again, so I would just save everyone the inconvenience and call it a day here for now. So yeah, again, thanks a lot for having the session, and see you later.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, Akbar. It was a great session. It was great to have you with us.
Okay, bye.
Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying bye actually. Bye, just bye.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
All right.
Bye bye,
Okay, so
everyone.
if others don't have any questions, they are free to drop off. Bye bye. Thank you for joining.
Tanmay, do you want to share some updates
Regarding.
like about shortlisting and anything that is left?
Yeah, so I received some messages on why they were not shortlisted. So the shortlisting has not yet been concluded. The shortlisting is still going on. I saw a lot of you have not been consistent in contributing, so please be consistent. I just received a message today that they have not been consistent because they were, collecting data sets. So it's fine if you are like collecting data sets or something else, but like at least enable get up discussions and then discuss the like you are collecting data sets or whatever you are doing, so that the other third party knows that you have not ghosted your project, you are still working on it, just you have not made any changes, just you have not committed anything as of now. So yeah, please make sure to enable get up discussions and discuss your project there, be active, make meaningful contributions and contribute to like OSM. Will be running challenges starting now till 22nd, to be honest, 28th, 29th. And then there are some very cool, exciting prizes for you. We have XYZ domains. You can like host your portfolio website there. We have code crafters courses. You can get them and you can like, they have really cool courses. They teach you how to build your own shell from scratch, build your own Redis from scratch, build your TCP server and stuff. And lastly, we also have FOSS Club official T-shirts. So yeah, if you would be interested in that, I said it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Tanmay.
Okay.
Oh, I
If
guess
no one else have any questions, they are free. Like feel free to drop off. Sorry, I cut you off, Avnish. Were you saying something?
no, no. I was saying the same thing.
Okay, okay.
Bye bye, guys.
Thank you for joining, guys.
You want a T-shirt? Oh, okay. You have to do
Peace.
map challenges in that case.